Provo keeps it in. The shot is blocked. Batted down. And here comes the Spud Kings. Straight pass ahead. Here's Pitters. Pitters in alone on a break. Pitters shoots. Score! Owen Pitters! Game over! Spud Kings win it 7-6 in overtime! Pass deflects. It's picked off. Landon Steffen pokes it away. Radek leaves it for Landon. Landon walking and dangles backhand, forehand, backhand, score! Landon Steffen, a beauty! The Spud Kings take the lead. It's 2-1. Swing and a miss by Bartfield on the poke, and Landon Steffen steals. Steffen in again. Steffen backhand, score! He does it again!
Wow.
Landon Steffen, another beauty! It's 3-1 Spud Kings! This is their opportunity to tie the game. Landon Steffen up top. McLeish fires a one-timer and scores! DJ, play the goal song. We are tied at 1. A little more than 3 minutes gone, first period. One shot for each side, no goals for each side. Still looking for our first marker of the game between the Spuds and the Preds. Shot on goal, a glove save by Polston, but the shot will not count because offside is called.
Yeah, last night I thought that the up line with Black on it, playing with him, was one of the more effective lines last night for the Provo. And we saw last night they put just a little bit ago, they put some excellent pressure on the Spud Kings.
They got the takeaway and almost got the bounce into the back of the net. Here's McLeish flipping it back in. Almost works as a pass to Luke Steffen. He's tied up by a fellow Luke Foss. And the Predators will break out. That pass blocked down, kept in the zone by Landon Steffen. He'll take a shove from Tyler Johnson as he gets it in deep. Foss around the boards, looking for teammates. Has him. Stretch pass, 2-on-2 for the Preds the other way. Here's Nicholas Noble, right wing side. Takes the shot, save Carter. And a cover.
Well, good positioning that time by Preston Carter. He's right in the right spot. That shot was right in his breadbasket and was able to cover up. Good not to have the rebounds on those because that's where Provo can be very dangerous.
Off the top of the show, Scott mentioned the terrific night that Tucker Inabene had for the Spuds in goal last night. 31 saves on 32 shots, 31 high difficulty saves. Point shots sent wide. They were looking for the deflection from Radikainen. And here's Ty Walker. Inabene not dressed tonight, a deserved night off for that victory a night ago. It is Preston Carter being backed up by Vladimir Pachinin. Donovan drops it off for Walker. He'll dangle through Picard. Walker to the outside. Here's a shot and a glove save on Cannon Lentz. And as we mentioned Lentz, we have to mention the move that the Predators and the Spud Kings made earlier this week because there are a few players on these two teams that were on the other team just a few days ago. Cannon Lentz, for example, was a Provo Predator, now on the Idaho Falls Spud Kings. Same for Casey Russell. Tim Kim, now a Provo Predator. It's interesting to see a trade, especially between two teams of the same league, of course, in the NCDC division. But right before the two teams play against each other, that's unusual timing.
It is unusual timing, and you often wonder how they feel going up against each other. But as far as the guys now with the Spud Kings, they performed very well last night.
And it's not something that you don't see 0% of the time either. I think back to baseball about a decade ago. Remember Ichiro Suzuki when he was traded to the New York Yankees. Here's Yonder Naslund with a shot and a goal right over the left shoulder of Carter. And Provo strikes first. Predators lead 1-0. Naslund with his 4th goal of the season.
Well, that puck very quickly right off the backboards. Naslund got it, able to come out, and look at this. What a well-placed shot right over the shoulder of Carter.
And it was a breakout that did not go over the Spud Kings there. A Predator jumping the passing lane and Naslund getting the goal on a quick release.
Yes. Definitely want to tighten up on your defensive end in that situation. So we'll see if Spud Kings can come back from this and learn from that and not make the same mistake again.
At the 4:34 mark, the Provo Predators take a 1-0 lead, and we'll wait for the official scoring on the goal for Einar Naslund, which will be his 4th of the season. Hand pass called on this play, and the faceoff will be inside the Provo end. It is Naslund from Jonathan Doucette. Doucette, the player who jumped in on that breakout pass, and he's the one who created the goal in a sense with that pressure.
Right. When you're fast first to the puck, good things happen.
Up the boards for Gavin Black. Cross ice, right on the tape. Good pass to Sulik. Sulik back to Black. Black right circle. Black will wrap it around the goal. Maneuvers off of Phillip. Black back the other way. He leaves it for Campbell Epp. Epp with Pichard all around him, and that is sent all the way around the boards. No icing is the call here as Polston's out of the goal to play the puck. He'll pass it all the way to center for Epp. Predators looking for the play, and it's taken away. Russell's dumping attempt was gloved down. Spud Kings have it again. Here comes Lewis down the right wing side, looking for Pitters, but it bounced off his skates, and it was turned over to Provo. Provo with those two scoring chances, one of them resulted into goals. Spud Kings looking for their first good scoring opportunity of the night so far. Good check there by Lentz on one of his former teammates, and here's Cannavaro. Over to Lewis. Lewis pushes it ahead. The race is on for the puck. Casey Russell couldn't get there first. Here's Blake Johnson. Johnson up the boards. Collisions, and the Spud Kings have it. Here's Cannavaro. Looking for Lewis. More than 6 minutes gone first period. Provo the 1-0 lead. Russell overskates it. Russell will shoot it back into the corner, and the Spud Kings will get a partial change. Cecino tied up. Loose puck to Provo and out of the zone. Pushed back ahead by Taylor. The pass across. Landon Stephan wasn't looking for it. Now he leaves it for Omholt as the Spud Kings recover it. Jackson Beach, right wing side, shoots it in from just behind the red line. No icing is the call. Polston off the boards. This is going to make it all the way into the Spud King end of the ice. No icing here as well. Provo will get a partial change. Here's Omholt. Looking for the stretch pass. Batted down partially by Linton. And a high stick will be called. Faceoff will stay at center ice with 13:04 to play in the first period.
Yeah, this game has a little bit different feel than it did as the start of last night's game. And from the very beginning, both teams could do something very well. And it just seems like the Spud Kings tonight, they don't have that groove yet. So we'll see how it gets going. We're not even midway through the first period, but there's just a little different feel to it.
Yeah, that's certainly the feeling from what we can observe from up here on the ice. Spud Kings still looking for that spark. Here's a point shot, blocked down in front, and Polston finds it to get a stoppage. Throw it on goal when you get the chance, right, Scott?
Well, I do like that because there was some traffic in front of Polston there, and you know, you get a rebound off the pad, and then you can put one back in that situation.
Predators get this draw. Naslund, the goal scorer, around for Burns. Up the boards, here comes Doucette flipping it in around McLeish. Pichard first to it. Up the wall, Edwards, blocked by Naslund. Here's Edwards again, left wing side. Doucette on him with the good pressure in the tie-up. Edwards banks it off the boards and ahead. Foss backhands it to the line, kept in by the Spuds. Donovan tied up with Naslund down low. Predators help their teammates. Doucette cross ice. Ori loses it in his skates, gets it back, and here he comes again. Ori dangling through one Spud King to the backhand pad save. Batted down on the rebound in front, it deflects in. It looked like Jacob Sulik got the last touch on this. We'll see who leads the scoring line here for the Provo Predators. It is going to be Sulik, and Provo has a 2-0 lead on another great scoring opportunity. They get it by Carter to build the advantage early.
Again, a lot of pressure being put on Carter here and not clearing the puck out. As you can see here, the initial stop, rebound comes up. It looks like the Spud Kings have it to clear, but they just keep whacking at the loose puck. If you can't get that clearing initially, Provo's got two guys there ready to put the rebound in. So got to clear that out if you're the Spud Kings.
On the score sheet right now, that goes as the second goal of the night for Naslund. Again, we couldn't tell whether it went off of Sulik before going in or not for sure, so we'll give our officials the benefit of the doubt there.
Well, I kind of messed things up
That was a
night.
tough bounce, though. That was a tough bounce either way against the Spud Kings.
You know, that's not really against Carter.
Not at all. Naslund gets the goal, his second of the night already. 5th of the season. Sulik and Ori get the assist. Here's a chance out front. Spinorama shot. Trudell denied on the backhand. It comes out of the zone. Cannavaro shoots it back in. And I also want to mention Luca Ori, the secondary assist on that Provo goal. A terrific play dangling through a couple of Spud Kings, but it also showed how much the Spud Kings were stick checking on that play as well. Slap shot. Tristan Taylor lets it go and Polston the save. Now a player goes down in front on a trip and a little bit of jawing out in front. Everybody getting familiar with each other, and that's about it there. 11-10 left first period, 2-0. Provo leads Idaho Falls.
Yeah, Viparan was making sure that Pitters didn't get too close to the goal there. Actually, the shove came a little bit after the whistle, so if you're Provo, you don't want to take a dumb penalty here.
Olmholt from the line, a shot at a stop there by Polston. Clear attempt, successful on the second try from Tyler Johnson. Here's Taylor. He'll dump it in. And there is a Spud King down, but back up on his skates. That was Casey Russell. Took a hard fall, but he's backing into the play. And Provo will slow it down behind its own goal. Johnson, right wing side, straight ahead. Rothke dangling in, leaves it over to Noble. He'll weave away, looking to the line. Point shot and a save by Carter. He will hold on to it with Blake Johnson tied up with Tobias Olmholt in front. And that's a big save for Preston Carter because, again, neither of those goals were necessarily his fault, but that's a big save for his confidence seeing that through traffic.
Well, yeah, and you notice Johnson was right there, and it took Tobias a little bit of effort to clear him out, you know, and that puck was loose for a brief second. Fortunately, he kept the rebound close in and was able to get right on it.
Provo wins the draw. Coots down low. Linton leaves it, wraparound chance, and a Donald rebound shot sent wide. It's at the side of the goal. Picard tries to center it, but it goes right between both Predators' defensemen and all the way down. And icing called by the linesman here, but we'll get a conversation between the officials. That looked like Picard shooting it down, looking for a teammate at the line.
I believe it was Picard that let the puck fly, and they're going to call it at center ice here, the drop. But that last exchange down here at the Spud King net, you notice 3 Provo players in the scoring lane right next to the goal.
The prime scoring area, and here's Luke Steffen losing it off the draw. Picard in 2-on-2 for the Predators hurry. Picard loses the handle. Bouncing puck goes to the Spuds. Through the legs of Bouchard. He'll play it off the glass to the line. O'Hara keeps it in by gloving it down. Now the Spud Kings have numbers if they hurry. Jackson Beach with Luke Steffen 2-on-1. Beach shoots, glove save, rebound, bouncing in front. A shot on the goal! It's Luke Steffen! And the Spud Kings answer. It's 2-1.